All right, I'm just going to be going over Iosha's match here at Artemis Grappling. So this will be a longer form video. Uh, I work pretty heavily with Iosha because she's the only other person at our gym that is really looking to pursue grappling as a further thing than just a hobby. Obviously, training outside of a MMA gym, all the athletes there pursuing MMA. So I try to put a fair bit of time into Iosha just because she's also pursuing grappling as well as me. So I'll be breaking down her match that she had with Jade Isbista, I believe her name is, just over the weekend. And I'll just talk about some of the things that we'd been working on, not only this match, but just leading up to trials and also some things we've been fixing up in her game since she's been working with me. So the biggest thing that we're trying to work on with Iosha is that she is a all gas, no brakes kind of athlete. Something that I used to do myself as well, and it's a high risk, high reward kind of style. Iosha's biggest problem was that it would give her a lot of success. She would have a very high submission percentage rate for her matches, but she would also lose a lot of matches to mistakes that she didn't need to whenever she came to high level competition. Obviously, at the lower level competitions, she would manage to dominate, so she would keep at it. But when she came across higher competition, she would quite struggle because she would make a lot of mistakes, like having no base and uh, going so forward that she would fall into traps and attacks. So a big thing for her has just been trying to slow it down and systemize her game a little bit more. So I just want to talk about some things that happened during this match and what I saw. So I'll just skip into it. I've seen this match, I think, twice now, so should better go into it. So Jade here is a power lifter, I believe. Quite a strong female athlete and plays a top player approach from what I watched of her when I was doing my study. Has a very good underhook game, so we were quite aware of that. But it's really just a similar game style that Iosha used to do, say, a year ago. So I wasn't too worried. She just kind of plays a lesser game that Iosha does. No offense to her at all, though. Iosha just is very good at this style, and she managed to get the underhook on Jade here. And it's just kind of a bit of a back and forth here with who can win that inside position. Jade does a good job here, punching her underhook, and Iosha does a really good job of getting inside head position. You can see here, not allowing Jade to get that inside position, making her underhook quite weak. You can also see Iosha using her other hand to try and control the far side of Jade, just to make it hard for her to connect her hands in case Jade was going for a body lock, which is something she does like to do. So just wary of Jade's throw by here, and Iosha managed to separate and restart. So I'll just fast forward a little bit into this and see where it goes. Something that I had Iosha work on leading up to this was slide by, so she does go for one. Here, the only issue is that she does go for it with a wrist grip instead of a collar tie. You can see her setting up now. You can see the hand going into the armpit so that it leads towards the bicep. This is the way I like to do my slide bys because it's very hard to recognize that it's about to happen as opposed to a traditional slide by where you're gripping more up on the behind the elbow to hit it. So what Iosha's got here is she's got, I'll just pause it here, bit blurry, but you can see a almost like a false grip on Jade's right arm, and she's got wrist control on Jade's left arm. The issue with the wrist control is when you go to do a slide by like this, it's very hard to maintain close contact when your opponent goes past you. The reason I like to take a collar tie is once they go past me, I've got immediate back exposure and I can really close off the space straight away. Because Aisha's taken this wrist control, it's almost more so like a elbow pass um, variation. So you can see here when she goes for it, a lot of space is opened up here. So it's very hard to get that back exposure, but Iosha does a really good job of following it up with a double leg to finish the takedown. And she enters in this half guard position here. Big mistake that Iosha makes in previous matches and still does a bit is she struggles to maintain good posture and base when she's settling in half guard. And she does two things. She'll sit quite upright, like she is here. She'll do this even more so in a second, I believe. No, she settles down here, but she usually sits very upright like this, and it just opens up for a lot of attacks like scoop grips. You can see she's actually already almost facing away from Jade. This ankle is exposed for all sorts of attacks. That knee was previously on the ground as well, allowing for knee levers. Just too many attacks in multiple directions. So I really try to get Iosha to take a split squat position if she can, or to just be more chest on chest facing towards her opponents. Just because Iosha had previously a really strong overback style of half guard passing where she would try to only use overbacks. I've tried to nullify it from her game just because a lot of the time she does it wrong and she either falls over the top and gets swept, or she allows too much space where her opponent can build height with like octopus style. So she'll hit this overback half guard passing in a bit. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about with being too tall. Jade nearly off balanced her. These knees are far too close together right now. And we're getting a little bit more forward facing here, which is a bit better. And I really like this posture to change. If I was here in this match, I would have asked Iosha to probably reset and get a better positioning, either to headquarters or to split squat, trying to control that top leg of Jade. But she goes for this overback, managed to kind of get it, but Jade resets here, and now we're entering that split squat passing where we can really start to put pressure on. So you can see Jade's knees quite collapsed here. I would have liked her to just try to start body locking to keep those legs pinched together, but she tries to go for this overback once more. Here she does a very good job of this overback passing actually, really having good knee to elbow connection, and she doesn't concede to her far hip, so she can stay on top like this and apply a lot of pressure actually. So this is really good. Jade does manage to recover and get her head back. So I think Iosha chooses to reset, which is great. Something that I want her to do more often when she feels like it's not working, just to make a reset and come back in with another strong pass like she does here. A really good job of controlling that top leg of Jade and straight into a good crossface and underhook half guard passing. Something that I'd much prefer her do more often, and she has been working on it. And you can see her walking her right leg up vaguely here. This is just to try and hide her leg from the lockdown, which I think Jade does in previous times. So she enters this three-quarter mount position here. I'd really like Iosha to take her left leg back to try and staple Jade's knees together. You'll see a bit, yeah, like this. Because Iosha's on the hips, it allows Jade to turn easily to her right if she wanted to, just because there's no weight on those legs. And when your ankle's trapped like that, you are quite vulnerable. I would have preferred Iosha sit back and cover the knees just to really limit Jade's movement. And then once she's got better upper body grips, to start freeing her leg. But she does manage to play around with it a bit and push on her knees until she can pummel her secondary foot in to free her primary foot. So just fast forward a little bit. And you can see she does so there. Manages to pummel straight into mount. And for the rest of the match, not much happens. She does struggle to get elbow separation from mount. Jade is quite strong and just was really, really intentful on trying to keep those elbows close to her center line. So Aisha's doing a great job here of a heavy cross brace, turning Jade's chin in one direction so she can only bridge to the side that Iosha has a post on, something I teach a lot when I'm showing mount. Doing a great job here. She does try to do the other side, but doesn't do a good job of turning Jade's chin, so I think she'll try to fix this up in a second. Looks like she's just going for an Ezekiel, just to kind of freak Jade out a bit, hoping that she creates a bit of elbow separation. Iosha does a good job with this grapevine mount. As you can see, her legs are threaded through all the way, almost crossing ankles. And every time Jade does go for a big bridge, you can see that Iosha tries to flare her legs into Jade's just to try and take the power of that bridge out. And she's setting into a standard mount here. And once she ideally gets that arm a bit more walked up, should enter a pincer mount where her feet are really pressed onto Jade's hips here on the side, just so she can kind of get a bit more leverage to walk that arm up. But she does go back to a standard mount, it looks, and back to the grapevine as well, if she needs to. Yeah, here, really flaring the legs of Jade to stop those big bridges. And the time runs out here, and funny enough, Iosha thinks that it's just a reset, and she's ready to take mount again. But yeah, she realizes that the match is done. Bit of confusion and dominant performance by Iosha. A few things to work on, of course. She's got a bunch of matches coming up, and she'll also have trials coming up, so that would be the big one to work for. Uh, I wasn't there for this competition. This was in Adelaide, but I'll ideally like to be there for her trials match to corner her, and perhaps some bigger ones later in the year. Hopefully the sound is good for you guys. Something I'm just trying to work on is this longer format of videos, something I have to play around with. I'm not sure how to edit properly. I'm very new to all this stuff. Obviously, I'm screen recording right now, so you'll be able to see my camera roll and all sorts of nonsense while doing this. So I'll try and just figure out this as I go, but this would be my first video, just a quick rough one, and I'll try to get better as I go on with this. If you'd like to leave any questions or tell me what I can do to improve on this, that'd honestly be great. Any tips on software I can use that is easier to edit on, or just other footage you'd like to see me break down, that'd be great. Right. Thanks, guys.